Welcome, CNG 124 online to week 14. We only have this week and then next week, and then that Monday. I will start getting the grades in no later than, if you have anything outstanding, I would say 5 p.m. Tuesday is probably about the latest I'll take it. That's because I don't feel like staying up till midnight grading stuff and then turning it in Wednesday for your grades. So let's see. This week we looked at Lab 25, which is IPv6 in Windows 10, and we have to be in an environment where there's at least two computers two computers that can use IPv6. And at this point, if you don't have a computer or a second computer in your household, do remember that one lab is dropped, one quiz is dropped. That's when, if you go to your grade book, you'll see that dropped quiz or item moves around to whatever's the lowest in your assignments, but not in the exam. So the exams do count. But I'll get to that in a little bit. So this week is your Lab 25. Make sure you have two computers that can use IPv6. I think one of the biggest misnomers about IPv6 is when they start to look at, if we go back to last week's material, the IPv6 address has a specific requirements. Where's the slides at? Yeah. Has specific requirements, and in that we see what an IPv6 is made out of, and I guarantee most of the time, let me see, 80% of the time, students will write the IPv6 wrong because they put in the extra characters. So your IPv6 should be, your IPv6 should be your hexadecimal numbers only, 8 16-bit fields. It should look like this. It's fully notated. No zeros are taken out. It should look like this, with some zeros taken out and leading zeros taken out. But realize that it's not. See if I can get down to it. And it's not going to be the Microsoft. I don't see it. So it's not a percentage sign at the end. That is just your index value. And maybe it says it on another set of slides. That is your index value that your computer is communicating and listening to. Think of it like a port, but it's not a physical port. It's not a digital port. Just kind of think of it as a port would probably be the best way to put that. But it's not really a physical port at all. So make sure you just know what an IPv6 address should look like, minus the % number sign. Remember, that's the index value that Microsoft uses. And that should get you far for this week. There was no reflections for last week. I have a wrong date in there. Sorry for that. This week is our last week of real homework. Next week and that Monday, make sure that you're rehearsing for, and I'll double check the due dates, make sure you're rehearsing for those finals. The skills review lab is a good one to redo, reassess. If you're having issues and you still need some additional support, reach out to myself here on campus, or if you have the time, come to the Front Range or come to the Larimer campus on the weekend, Sunday and Friday. There is a lab assistant that is a computer networking student, so he'll be able to help you a lot. Saturday, There's more programming students, so I don't know if they'll be able to help you, but maybe there'll be a good set of second eyes to help you work through this problem. For those of you that have missed a exam, make sure you have your Kaplan, and all I need is a selfie of you and your score in Kaplan, and that'll allow me to boost your exam scores 1, 2, and 3 up, and that boosts your overall grade, because if we look at the syllabus, you can see that the layout of the course does rely heavily on a few components. So your tests, each worth 5% of your grade. There's 3 of them. Each one's worth 5% of your grade. The labs, 35% of your grade. The skills and the final exam, 15% of your grade. So we got some pretty good chunks left over. I think so far this course, the only people that fail the final exam or skills exam are the ones that do not take it. I haven't had anybody take it and fail it. Seeming like a C, but that's usually probably more or less where people get on that one, is about a C. If you want, and I believe there's might be an area here for the automatic A. Yep, the retake. So here we have all students should sit for the MTA 366. It is proctored at the Larimer campus at the end of the semester. You do need a photo ID. Basically, you come to the testing center here on campus and say, I would like to take an MTA. You tell them I wish you could see me point at the screen here. You tell them this number here, 98366. It should be the Networking Fundamentals exam. That MTA certification, once you pass that MTA certification is a lifetime certification. And those are what you should have as you develop and move through your career here at Fort Range. You should start to accumulate a good number of these entry-level exams. So when you leave here, you can show people that you're qualified and ready to work. Once again, come to the Larimer campus, take this at our testing center. It's free. Make sure you have your photo ID, and make sure you have that number, MTA 98366, and that'll be that exam. There was also another caveat in here. I might have taken it out. So if you do come to campus, get certified. I guess I might have taken it out for some unknown reasons, but probably trying something new. If you come to campus and get certified in the MTA, pass that MTA. I run a report every couple of days, and I see who's taken it and who's passed it. But if you pass that and you have all your work in, I'll go ahead and pass you in the class for an A, but that's the thing, you have to have all your work in, not just all your work minus 1 or all your work minus 2. It has to be all your work. If you have a 0 on a test because you didn't take it, technically you didn't do it, so that would eliminate you from that automatic A. But if you have Kaplan, you reverse Kaplan also, which essentially is also preparing you for the MTA. You knock out 2 birds with 1 stone kind of that way. So still ways to, if you have a B or a C, there's still ways to get an A in the course. Let me show you week 15, just kind of a preview of week 15. Once again, week 15 has no homework attached to it. You are just expected to take, where's my finals? Skills Final Part A. Once you submit Skills Final Part A, you'll get Skills Final Part B. You are limited to 1 hour per test. So as soon as you download it, I see that, and as soon as you submit it, it should be within an hour. Not doing so kind of goes back to the student code of conduct, honesty policy, and you can face consequences from the campus. The final exam just starts that last week and goes all the way through Monday, so feel free to take that at any point. Once again, that's just going to be a few questions where this the skills is going to be more of an assessment online and how you're doing it. That's for next week. No homework, and that kind of rolls into no homework for that last week. If you have any outstanding work or anything that I gave you points on and ask you for a resubmit, make sure to get that in. I want you to succeed, and I know you want to succeed, so let's kind of meet each other halfway and make that happen. If you have any questions, reach out. If you need support, there's an online lab here at Larimer. I'll be more than willing to put you in contact with a TA that can work with you over the phone. So let's make sure we finish this semester strong, and that's about it. That's all for week 14 kickoff.